We are out in Webster County, Missouri, about 20 miles east of Springfield, Missouri, and about 5 miles south of Marshfield. We're on Belford Road, and we're just about to get to the James River, which means we are very close to the property. It's the middle of winter, so we've got no leaves on the trees, and this water is going to be really low in the river. Okay, so this is a low water bridge over the James River, and yep, it's super low. Pretty normal in the winter time. There's actually someone fishing down there where the river bends. Looking upriver again, super low. But this particular spot, this is really cool to put your tube or your canoe or your kayak in, especially if you have little ones or people that, you know, haven't floated before. And you can do just kind of a little mini float, like a 10-minute float, directly down to your own property and get out on your property, which is pretty unique. So we went up the hill. Now we're going to go about 1/8 of a mile, and we'll see the property on the right. This is tract 7 at James River Estates. There are only 8 tracts out here. This was a really small little private development. Check the restrictions and whatnot. It's not heavily restricted. It's just got a few basic restrictions to keep everything nice out here and to protect your property value. So there we just pulled off of Belford Road, and it does have a gate. It's fenced here off the road. There are posts. You can see the fence posts on each side, but there is no barbed wire strung up there because when we originally did this, we had several people who were either buying or leasing more than one property, and they didn't want fence between them. So we put up the posts just to clearly define the boundaries. If you want to fence it, you certainly can. The H braces, I believe they're in place on both sides, so it only takes a few hours to string the wire if you want to do that. But we're looking down toward the river, so super private. You can lock the gate if you want, you know, ultimate privacy. There's going to be phone up here at the road. We've got Verizon, and we've got pretty good cell service out here. Or I have Verizon. I guess our guys in the field have US Cellular, and I believe they have better service than I do out here. So up here toward the road, we're high and dry. We're out of the flood zone, so really nice for building. As we start to head toward the water, you'll see the electric. So literally the electric is right on the property, crosses right over it. So that's super handy if and when you need it for your house or your cabin or whatnot. This is gorgeous. Like I said, it's the middle of winter, but it's 64 degrees out. And I do love the Ozarks. You can check the survey to see the width of this, but I mean, it's easily wide enough to build whatever type of structure you want and still have a big yard. And this is beautiful pasture, by the way. If you want horses or a garden area, this is just stunning. Now, as we start to slope down, we're going to actually enter the 100-year flood zone. I don't know if this particular part's in the flood zone or not, but as we get closer to the river and it slopes down again, then that definitely would be within the flood zone. This area here, I'm not sure about. I think on the MapRight map, I believe there's a layer for flood zone, so you could click on that or ask us about it, and we'll check it out for you. So yeah, I'm not positive. I hate to say this is out of the flood zone and then have it be in the flood zone. So check that map to make sure. But now as we make the final journey here, this is definitely going to be within that 100-year flood zone. Now there's not going to be water up in this meadow every year by any means because it takes a lot of water to get up here. But if and when you want to build, if you build in this area, your bank is going to require flood insurance, which is a big pain. So you're better off just building up the hill where it's out of the flood zone. Or if you build down here, you'd have to elevate your structure substantially, which can be done. I mean, people do it all the time, but you can probably be better off just building a little closer to the road and maybe do a little day cabin or something on stilts down here. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Belfort is a really low traffic road, and we're far enough off the road that there's just not going to be road noise. So this particular tract has kind of a driveway that was opened up going right down to the river. If you need extra dirt for some projects, there's the dirt right there that was scooped out of here when this driveway was installed. This is so pretty, so peaceful out here. Let's walk right down to the water and we'll check that out first. I actually could have driven right to here. Deer prints everywhere in the sandy soil. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that rock ledge right down at the water. So this tract actually has quite a bit of property on the other side of the river. So where we're looking now, you own a huge portion of that gravel bar, and then the land beyond as well, which has some nice big timber. We'll do a drone video also, which will be a really good way to look at the property. But talk about an ideal spot for camping. It was last year, maybe 2 years ago. We actually came down here and we hung out on this property because it had this nice little access to the water. Everybody goofed off on four-wheelers, everybody played in the water. I mean, it was fantastic. This is, I've really never seen anything quite like this. There's this huge rock ledge right next to the water. It's really, really pretty. The water's quite low now since it's the middle of winter, but it's crystal clear. I can see some small fish in there. I think when we were out here spending the day, it was up about another 18 inches maybe, because it wasn't quite over this rock ledge because we hung out here. And the little people and some of the older people went swimming right here. You'll find multiple spots on the James where you can do some pretty good bass fishing. We saw the person up there about a quarter mile upriver doing some fishing, and there's another bend right there a few hundred yards down. And we've got some nice fish there. Really cool. If you've been looking for property on the James River, you know it's next to impossible to find it. The few tracts we've seen have been a little further to the west, so you get into Greene County right away, and then you have pretty restrictive zoning. Here in Webster County, we don't have zoning, so you do have the property covenants at James River Estates, but you can build your own home or cabin without permits, which is pretty unbelievable. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Jeez. There are no other tracks like this out here. This is, well, I shouldn't say that. This track next to us has a little bit of the rock ledge, but it'd be hard to get to. This one here is just unreal. Nice large tract, one of the larger tracts out here. So you can check us out at InstantAcres.com if the property's available. That's where you'll find it. Or you can give us a call or shoot us an email. We'd love to talk to you. But if you've been looking for something more or less ready to go, there's a beautiful hawk over there. Right on the James River. I mean, county road frontage, electric on site, phone's gonna be at the road. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful property. Not very many like this. InstantAcres.com. Oh, by the way, check the listing to see the drone video, to see the interactive maps. You'll be able to see on the interactive map just how much land is over there as well. So I don't want to say we've ridden a four-wheeler across because I'm not sure what the regulations are on that, but I've heard of people just walking across, of course, or going across on a four-wheeler. Do a little camp out on that gravel bar. Awesome property. Check us out at InstantAcres.com.